Oi, oi!
Unmute yourself.
This is
what a start.
This is not a glitch. There are 3 of us tonight for the first time in over 6 weeks. I think it's been 6 weeks.
At least.
Do not adjust your screens.
Do not adjust your screens. We are here for your viewing pleasure. Not sure how tonight will go, but we will see. How is everyone? Good?
All good. All good, apart from
in the hood.
Horrific day spent at the dentist. My wallet doesn't know what's hit me, but apart from that, peaches.
Nice.
Peaches and cream.
What about you, Charlie? How's your day been? Where are you?
I'm in Belgium. I'm in like some Joseph Fritzl hostel.
It looks like you're in the back, the back room of a shit bar or something, or like a function room.
No, I'm.
He's going to start playing darts in a minute, or a little bit of like lawn bowls or something in his function.
Karaoke. Give me some karaoke, Charlie.
No, it's
a gentleman's club.
I wouldn't even say it's a gentleman's club. It's like it's like the back in like I'm in Belgium, but I'm in a place called Knokke, right, which is like it's like the arse end of nowhere. It's like the arse end of Belgium. If I was to sum it up, I said to my wife earlier, it's kind of like an OAP seaside resort where people come to die. But other than that, I'm all good.
I just can't imagine you speaking to your wife this afternoon saying you fancy some Knokke.
And then she showed me the Italian pasta dish.
Whoa, is that a euphemism or what?
No, it's not. It is. But it's another Thursday night. I'm really excited to be like it's the 3 of us. We're back again. Triple G was fantastic last week, so massive kudos to him. Massive shout outs to him for standing in. It was I was literally up to my arms in concrete, in plaster and everything. In Knokke, yeah, it's up to my arms in Knokke. But it was a good watch. It was a very, very good watch, and it was good to see that Chris Bell finally got a notch on the bedpost with one of his fantastic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic covers. That was good. Andy, yours was a bit lackluster, wasn't it, mate?
Oh, I can't hear you again. My earpods are.
Mate, I can't even talk. I've got one on the board, so yeah, I can't really say anything. But
do you know the funny thing was on the Friday I actually received comics from a place in space, and I had ordered not only 1 but 2 of those Miles Morales covers.
Nice.
And the cover is different from what was originally solicited and what was actually shown on last week's show.
Have you got it for your pickups tonight?
It's over there, so I'll need to go and get it whilst one of you guys are doing your pickups and stuff. So,
but I'm looking forward to seeing that because I heard it was going to be different, but I didn't think because it came out like when it was on League of Comics because it was that week, it hadn't changed. So I was thinking, it's going to be the same.
I've got it coming in CGC. I ordered it.
You might as well ask your daughter to draw one, mate, and get that CGC. It would have meant more.
Listen, don't put
and
my
would have
daughter
been better.
That, all right?
We're in a better drawing.
But the chat is absolutely banging. We've got Batman Dixon has said we'll be catching up tomorrow, killers. Hope you have a great show. We've got Chris Bell, ding dong, ding dong. Word to your mothers, Fuzzy Dunlop. We've got Yuko demands treats. Hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening. We have ABZ Comics. Love the promotion. Thanks for sending out a little Instagram post that he does every week. Massively appreciate that, dude. And here, what have we got? This Chris has said, "Do not agree to go to a club with any girls, Charlie. We know it doesn't end well." I'm not going anywhere. I told you I'm locked up. Like Fritzl's locked me up. I'm in Belgium in the arse end of nowhere. This is the only release I've got. This.
Actually, to be fair, it does look like you're in a prison cell. Now I'm thinking about it.
To be fair,
I was just about to say, was Chris at Thought Bubble?
Prison cells are probably more decorated than this. Honestly, they really.
I don't know. I've been in a few.
Good. Good evening, Ashley. I do need to reply to you. I've been told off by Andy. Your messages that you sent to me. I do need to get back to you, so I do apologise on that. I will get back to you straight after the show. If I don't, I'll send you 5 or 6 free comics. All right, hold me to that. Attention seeking geek. Good evening, sir. Welcome, and the one and only man.
Cool logo.
Triple G. And who else have we got? We have We've got Paul in the 619. I swear that must be a reference to the great Rey Mysterio. So looking forward to that. Hello, gentlemen, new to the channel. Welcome.
Welcome, Paul.
Lovely to see you. So, how do you want to play this, boys? Do you want to do pickups? Do you want to do killer covers, business ends straight away? What do you want to do?
Whatever.
I don't
What does the
have any
chat want us to do?
I'm going to say I really want to see that Spider-Man cover, Andy. So,
right. Well, you go first. You show off your pickups. Have you got any pickups with you at all?
no, I haven't got any pickups with me, but I have put a slide together to show what I picked up this week.
Nice. Right. You go on with that, and I'll be back in a second.
Okay, mate.
Nice.
So, yes. So, obviously, the homage covers for the Incredible Hulk, Fantastic Four, and the Avengers came out. I managed to get these from Sad Lemon Comics. They are fantastic. Like, they really, really are good. I kind of missed the trick on not getting them guaranteed 9.8s on the Slab Crusaders, because I wish I'd done that.
Yeah.
Because I ordered double of each of them, because I wanted one each for my boys. But now looking back at it, I wish I'd got them as guaranteed 9.8s. But I think what I'm going to do is when I'm back this week, back this weekend, I'm going to see if I can pop to a place in space, because they've got them. They're like we spoke about this before. They're like a cross between a CGC and a top loader.
Yeah, so they're like the Gator Guard sort of thing.
Yeah. So I'm going to see if I can pick up 3 of them and then put one of them comics in each of them, and then give them to my boys as a keepsake, because they really are great. Like, they really, really are great. I know Chris Bell's picked up, I think he picked up the same amount as I did, but they're wicked. Like, they're really,
I've got
really
the Avengers one. It's lovely.
Yeah. And then I totally lucked out again on Sad Lemon Comics. They do a Whatnot show. They've only been doing it for the past 3 or 4 weeks. And that Department of Truth issue number 9 by Rose Besh, it's £97.50 on their website. I managed to pick that up for £42.
Nice bargain, mate.
Nice.
And I'll tell you what, in person, it looks incredible. Like,
any Newton rings?
No, there's none at all. Absolutely none at all, which I'm really happy about.
Winning.
Because I think I'm all Newton ringed out, to be fair, if I'm being honest.
I was actually watching the show whenever you won that. I was watching the same show, and he had some absolute cracking books up, but I don't know how you can sell them so cheap. Like,
this is what I didn't get, and I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Like, how's this going to work? But it worked, and it came, and it was in fantastic packaging, and I'm absolutely over the moon with it.
Nice.
So yeah, and then on one of the comic book stores on Facebook, they were selling the guy called Kalen Williams, who's one of the admins on there, was selling the next 3 comics, Harley Quinn, them, and then the Harley Quinn, I think is it Harley Quinn 21, the 9.8 there, selling them for a fantastic price as well. And I thought, yeah, it's too good to miss.
That's an awesome homage cover to the joke, man.
It's wicked, and Andy's got the German version, which it's a direct homage to, because obviously it's a homage.
So this is a homage of a homage.
Yes, but I mean, they're fantastic. And then them 2 Harley Quinn covers, I think I'm going to be sending them off to either CBCS, which we spoke about earlier, guys, with the fantastic prices that they put up, or I'll send them to CGC.
Nice.
Nice
pickups.
But yeah, they're my pickups. So, what have you got, boys?
I've got this mouse. Just picked it up. I'm gonna put it back down again now.
Love that.
Yep.
Winning. I've got a few. I've got Static Shadows of Dakota issue number 1. This was an absolute cover buy, but I am partial to Static. I'm collecting the original run. I've only got a few.
I mean, no one can tell you're partial to Static, mate, because it's not like your hairs are standing on end.
Whoa! Whoa! Only for you, Tom. Only for you. Here it comes.
That wasn't your hair at Thought Bubble standing on end, by the way.
No.
Listen, stop, boys. Here it is, guys. This is what it officially looks like.
Oh, it's even worse. That's
totally different.
It's
so dark.
It is very, very dark. Yeah. It is very dark. So yeah, as I said, I picked up a couple of these.
Are they
And I've
shiny, Andy? There's any shine on them at all, like on the red?
No,
Like,
no, and
falling
do you know what? It's that typical Marvel paper where because like I've noticed that any dark covers really just sort of sink into the paper. The ink just sinks into it. So there's no gloss on it at all.
That's really interesting, mate, to see how Slab Crusaders are going to get that back as a 9.8 because one, it's shit marble paper, and two, it's all black.
Listen, I'm not exactly going to be devastated if it doesn't come back a 9.8 because it gives me a get out of jail free card to be honest with you. But I still like it. I still appreciate it.
I agree with Chris. It looks like it's been washed over. Hold on, I'll put his comment up.
Yeah. It almost feels as if there's like one of those old 1930s filters over it. It's been Instagrammed almost. You know what I mean? And this is a brand new bag and bold as well. So I don't even think a Mylar would help this one, to be fair. I've got a lovely Joshua Middleton Poison Ivy cover.
Nice.
Again, cover by for lots of different reasons.
Lots of different reasons.
Speaking of which, Jenny Frisson. This again, I don't care what anybody says. I absolutely love her artwork, and will continue to collect it for as long as I can. So yeah. Those are all from a place in space. So I took advantage of the 25% off if you buy 5.
Nice.
And then this bad boy came.
I wonder if it's your camera, because that looks really dark as well, like a lot darker than what they do online.
Yeah,
it's really dark.
You got that off Slab Crusaders as well, didn't you?
I can't remember. Can't remember if I ordered this in a 9.8. I might have. To be fair, there's been quite a few that I've ordered. I need to check. But yeah, it's a stunning cover, and it looks better than it does. Like it's like the flip of that Miles Morales cover. This actually looks better in person.
Yeah, that's a win. That was one of your cover winners, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah.
Quick question for you, Andy. Those ones you've got of cover buys. Do you ever read the interior at all, or not? Not at all.
Yeah. So any books that I get, I normally would read. So the Poison Ivy I'm reading, and Miles Morales I'm reading, which isn't that great. And I read the Static as well. So I normally read most of my stuff digitally.
Yeah, nice.
To be fair, though, I have sort of tried to back away from a lot of cover buys. I know these were all pre-orders that were bought ages and ages ago, but it's just like I looked at my last Subway comic list, and it's okay whenever they're stacking up every week, but see after that 6 weeks and you've got like £100 to pay, you're like, that money.
It's a bit. I mean, mine
earlier. Sorry, Charlie, go on.
Yeah,
go on, Charlie. All right, Charlie's delayed.
Okay.
No, I'm back now. I'm back. I should be back now.
This was one of the ones you picked up as well, the Incredible Hulk. So this was actually a Whatnot giveaway through Comic Sam on all the Whatnots. I was lucky enough to pick this up, so thanks for that. This is from the Hobgoblin's Hideaway. So I picked up Ghost Rider number 82. This is a really, really low print run, and I managed to get it for a fantastic price on Whatnot. So happy enough for that.
I like that outfit that he wears. He looks more like an executioner.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and obviously you've got the dinosaur, Devil Dinosaur, and Howard the Duck. And just FYI, Devil Dinosaur, Ring Girl and Devil Dinosaur is the best thing that's on Disney at the moment.
It's
just
quality.
Saying. And I sat and watched it with my 6-year-old, who equally loved it for different reasons, and it was just one of those perfect shows where you can sit down with your kid and enjoy it. So, a little bit of Scott Young,
nice,
Howling Commandos, and I got Hellions issue number 5. This is the Anacleto cover.
Nice.
Oh, this is from the Sinister War that's currently going on, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, or is it? Because this is issue 5. Is that up to issue? I don't know. I honestly don't know, mate. To be honest with you,
I think the Hellions one. I think the Sinister War is currently going on, but that just reminded me of it. I think that is
okay.
Previous.
Just before it, I think.
I don't know if Hellions is still running, to be honest. Oh,
I knew you would like this one, Tom.
Straight away, know exactly who the artist is on that cover.
True Blood issue number 1,
Dan
and
Mora.
this is the
You wish.
Dan Mora wishes it was him. It's the sketch cover for True Blood issue number 1, J. Scott Campbell. So,
Oh, look at that.
I do not own that one. I need to
you
get.
don't own that one. Oh,
No.
okay. Again, that was Hobgoblin's Hideaway.
To be fair, though, I had to limit my J. Scott Campbell spending to just his Marvel covers because otherwise it could have been very expensive. However, looking at it now, I probably should have done independent rather than Marvel because his Marvel covers are stupidly expensive.
See the independent. See if you go back to like his like really obscure stuff, that can go for like 150 quid for a raw copy.
Yeah.
I've just came to the conclusion that I'm not going to be able to get every single book that he's done. So,
No.
well. But that's all my pickup, boys.
That's what the internet's for and a printer's for.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good pickups, though, mate. Like good pickups. And I think, like Connie is just saying, all of this talk is making her want to jump on the Whatnot train. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I find the secret with Whatnot is finding good sellers, trustworthy sellers who will send the stuff in good quality, and you know that the stuff you're getting is good quality. And obviously Hobgoblin Hideaway, Resters, Comic Sam, J7 Comics. Now I haven't bought anything from J7 Comics, but those other guys speak very highly of them. So those would be the guy. Armageddon's another one. Yeah. So there's a good few sellers. So yeah, I'd definitely jump on it, give it a go, and I think you get $10 if you use the Hobgoblin Hideaway link. So you get $10 and they get $10. That's basically a free comic. So
Connie said, I have no chill as a person. I panic in the auction format and end up with comics I have no interest in, but they've got nice covers. That's how it starts.
I feel you on that one, mate.
The great thing about the Whatnot though is that you've got to like drag it. You've got to like click and drag. So it's not just like because see when there's like big boy books that are like 100 quid or whatever, I actually beforehand I just put my phone down just in case I like tapped the button by mistake or something like that. So
ABC says he's I'm a bit of a last 10 seconds kind of guy. Lol. Sometimes I forget though and rage.
Is that a general thing in life, or
was he talking about bidding and whatnot?
I've reformatted that. I re-quoted that, so I do apologise. But yeah, that's the thing. Like I do like watching it because like some of the comics I'm watching, like when I bought that Rose Besh one, I bidded in straight away because it was up for 35. Then it went up to 37. Then it went up to 40. I bidded in at 42, and I was literally like, "Oh, come on!" And like no one bid in. I was like, "This is wicked." Like it is good, but I do like the anticipation of if someone going to bid in at the last 10 seconds because it adds like 10 seconds, 6 seconds. So it is good though. It is addictive as well though. Because I've only got 2 comics on my pull list now. That's Batman and Strange Academy. That's all I've got. Because I'm going through the phase of now just collecting CGCs that I like and cover picks and comics that I like, so I can send off to CGC. That's the way I've called it now.
Way of doing it, mate.
Yeah. I would say my pull list will be down to like a handful by the end of May. So all my Star Wars are getting kicked to the curb, and it'll just be a case of either can I buy it because I like it, can I buy it to sell it on. That'll be the 2 things that I'll be thinking about. So
I find you know what you said earlier about trying to finding reliable sellers for books on Whatnot. I find exactly the same problem with pretty much everything else. Like with eBay, it's really hard to find reliable people that will send you a comic book in a decent mailer, or like even just send it as the condition that you'd seen it online. I've had so many arguments with people over that. Of like they've sent me a book and it's clearly got a crease on the front that wasn't there during the images and things. Like, yeah, it can be quite annoying.
I absolutely pride myself on how I send comics to people, either AOKs or whether it's on eBay or whether it's other there's guys in the chat that I've sold quite a lot of comics to, and they'll be able to tell you, it's like bubble wrap, like you almost go overboard because it's like, how would I expect to receive this book? So
yeah, I'm gonna quote you now, Andy. When you opened a not quite mint mystery box, you quoted me as having indestructible packaging.
100%, and I stand by it. And not just indestructible packaging, but nice packaging. It was like it was like an event opening up that stuff.
Yeah, man.
It's interesting that you talk about that because before we come on the show, I was on I think a few of us are part of like Squad Comics on Facebook and some comic book selling sites. This guy put up and said, "I've just sold this comic just sold it on eBay. Just got a reply from a guy saying that he wants his money back because it's come with a cut across the front."
I've seen that today. Yeah.
And you can blatantly see that the guy opening up the comic has scored the comic when he's cut the box. You can either that or he's cut a facsimile edition of the comic. He's like, "Yeah, I want to get this." Like,
yeah. That's the chances you take with eBay. I think what's good, especially about the comic community and the people that are on Whatnot, it's kind of about joining a bit of a family now. So if anybody's looking for a comic, somebody will help them out, and you can do trades and all that sort of stuff. So it's it's all about trust at the end of the day. So
yeah, it is. Now, talking about killer covers, killer community, and stuff like that, we might as well just get into another segue. So, yes. So, for Paul in the 619, we like to do segues and we like to do killer intros, which Tom, down below, normally takes care of. So, this one is for your viewing pleasure.
Do you know, you said about segues, it'd be really funny if when you're playing that, the next part is like we all just kind of zoom in on segues.
Nice. I like your thinking.
So how expensive them things are?
No, unfortunately not.
Listen, if I was on a Segway, I'd look like a train.
Yeah, look.
They might do them in Cornwall, but they're probably only just recently got wheels.
That's good shit. Bravo. Thank you very much, sir. So this is where we get serious-ish for around about 10 or 15 minutes. This is for Paul. This is for your benefit. The killer covers is basically myself, Andy, and Tom. We pick 3 covers of the comics that have come out this week. We pick fantastic covers that we kind of put to vote on YouTube. We put to vote on Instagram, and we get to see who wins cover of the week. And the winner, as always, wins absolutely nothing at the end of the show. So this is the killer covers from March 22nd, which was New Comic Book Day yesterday. We've got 5 comics this week. 5. There's 5 covers this week. We've got our 3 and then 2 from the community. So up first, off you go, sir.
It's me. Go easy, guys. After last week, I'm feeling a little bit fragile with my comic picks. This is the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 22. This is a C2E2 variant by the fantastic friend of the show, David Nakayama, who was very nice to thank us on socials when we posted up our usual bits and bobs. Guys, I love this cover. I love David Nakayama's work. I think he is a particular, what's the word I'm looking for? Penchant for the old Spidey. Penchant for the old Spidey. And yes, I love it. I love the contrast of the white cover. I think it really makes this pop. And yeah, what can I say? I'd love to own this book, but because it's a C2E2 variant, I'm not entirely sure how easy that's going to be. But David, Mr. Nakayama, if you're watching, DM me and we can work
boy up.
Yeah, hook me up. This is my killer pick. What do you guys think?
Charlie?
Just before we start, Connie, just Instagram it to the Killer Comic Show and I'll show it. It's not a problem. I love this. I'm not sure if I liked this one better or the black cover variant that he did, like because of the two of this, but I love David Nakayama's work. Like some of the stuff that he does, like the way he fields the void, like the negative space and stuff like that. I mean, he's been on the show and he was fantastic. So yeah, I really enjoy this. Yeah, I do like it. I think it's great.
I do think they missed a little bit of a trick though, David. He should have put like some sort of something on the sole of his foot.
Yeah,
like, you know, like the word Andy, like he's from Toy Story.
Yeah, like
he could have signed it on his foot.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think that'd have been, or C2. I guarantee they should have put C2E2 or something like that in foil on the foot or something. But,
you just can't win with some people, can you? I'm on a coach and about to get off. I'll send one for next week. Okay, Connie, that's fine.
Connie is always on the go for a player.
Always.
Yeah, fair play. Connie is an absolute diamond, man. She's always out and about.
Yeah. So, Tom, what do you think about this one, mate?
I think David Nakayama and Christopher have got such a knack for doing these negative covers that you just can't not like them. I was trying really hard to think of something negative to say about this. Like, I'm not sure I like the positioning of his leg, or he looks a bit too bit more contoured than he should be. But I love it. I think it's really good. I love David Nakayama's artwork. I've got pretty much a bit of a penchant for David Nakayama's artwork myself. I've got most of his artwork that he's done Marvel covers in my collection. So yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I love the way he's got the shine on the black suit. Like it's almost like it's leather, which I think is really smart. I like the way he's done that. So, yeah.
Sorry, Connie, we can't hear you. I think you're going under a bridge. Sorry, can't hear you. You're
I think she's gone. And yeah, look, Chris's his back arm looks broken and he has a fat leg.
See, I wanted to go down that route, but then I changed my mind.
I think it's a great cover. I think I really prefer the black suit. I think it looks great. I really do like it. So great pick.
Anatomically, though, his arms wouldn't do that.
In the world of comics, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, we're going to have about 30 of them coming out of his belly.
Yes, true. Well, I mean, this is obviously realistic, isn't it? I mean, why would you not have loads of little miniature Power Rangers flying out of your belly? That is not a euphemism, by the way.
Go Belly Rangers.
Go Belly Rangers. So my pick this week is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 106, Boom Studios, Carlos Dato variant A. There is a B, which is the Blue Ranger, but they're doing a series of these where they're going to cover each individual Ranger, and it's going to show you all the Rangers from that particular color scheme, past, future, and all the in-betweeny bits. I really like this cover. Me and Andy discussed it. We nearly did share it. Andy was going to go for this one. I was going to go for the blue one, but Andy let me have this because I love it. It's kind of my thing. I love this kind of cover, and I like that the Rangers are in the lightning bolt. Yeah. They're almost in the lightning bolt formation. That is obviously the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo. I really like it. I like how realistic it looks. It almost looks like a photograph.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Don't get me started on photographs. I'm not going to. It's fine.
Nah, I personally think this is stunning. I think it's the winner this week. It'll be very hard to beat this one. It reminds me of the Russell Dotterman covers.
Yes.
Where he puts lots and lots of the characters. And shout out to Bird City Comics. I believe that those guys are selling this along with the blue one. So if you are looking for this, you can get that in America. Because I don't know. Go on, John.
Are they going to be expensive?
I think for the two of them, it was, it's not too expensive. But I couldn't find anybody in the UK that was selling them. Please, guys in the chat, if you have found anybody, let me know. But otherwise, Bird City Comics are your go-to people.
Yeah, I want this collection. I really do, because they're doing all of them. So they're doing obviously the green, the red, the blue, the black, the yellow, but they're also going to do the White Ranger as well. And then the White Ranger is going to be all the other Rangers that aren't necessarily used in each particular series. So like you'll get the Purple Ranger and the kind of maroon red one from like the ninja ones and all the ones that don't fit into the general normal colors.
Yeah. A lot of people in the chat are saying, Paul is saying, I don't collect Power Ranger comics, but the covers are good. Liam has said, I'm not one for the comics, but the covers are awesome. There was a glow in the dark one, which was amazing. I can't remember the artist.
Yeah.
I think the story's gone on a bit long now. Like it has gone, and it does. I think when it got to about 85, 86, it started to become repetitive.
Agreed.
And then I think the break in it was when it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That was the kind of break it needed, because it took people away from the original Power Rangers to give them a break. And then it came back with like 97, 98. It's starting to pick up again now. But I think, to be honest, during that period, the covers were the saving grace of that. Because I think it was like Ryan Parrott he just didn't know what else to do.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. And he's a fantastic Power Rangers, right? He's been on it for 106 issues now. Do you know what I mean? So
and the rest.
Right, and the rest. But it's like Shattered Grid for me was the best one. Like Shattered Grid was fantastic. I just think it's a lot of them are the covers that are the saving grace for the story, if I'm being honest.
Guys, I don't know if I have to hand back my nerd card, but I've never read a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic ever.
How do I get him out of this chat?
And listen, wait, brace yourself. I've only watched one episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV show, and that was because my oldest daughter forced me to watch it.
Wow.
Sorry, guys. I still love you.
I'm like slightly disappointed, but at the same time, not surprised.
Hey, listen,
You're slightly more adult.
Join the queue, Tom.
You're slightly more adult than the rest of us, mate. You've got a life.
So I'm bald and I'm old. That's what I heard there, Tom.
Basically, yeah, that's basically.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Love you.
Hello, I'm in the arse end of nowhere.
Well,
living the dream.
Just a shout out to Paul in the 619. I think he's dropping off now, but I appreciate you joining. And please share and let all your friends know that we're here. Appreciate
and watch some of the replays, because some of the shows we had and some of the guests we've had on are absolutely stellar. So check that out. And also head over to Instagram. Check out the Killer Comics Show, Perpetual Comics, Not Quite Mint, Tom May.
I'm just going to say I'm still there.
and Geeky Guy Comics _ So yeah, check us out, and we shall see you next week. Thank you very much for joining. So Tom, I think this is a fucking awesome cover, mate. So nice one for that. I went for a little bit of a cami action.
Cheeky. I mean, if we were still doing Peach of the Week, mate.
But
that's exactly what I thought of.
Do you know what, right? So I only picked this because, one, you two picked the two of the best covers that I thought, and I started playing the new Street Fighters game on the mobile phone, and it's wicked. And I was like, oh, right, do you know what I mean? I'm going to do for it. Now, I'm going to be honest now, right? There's so much confusion around this comic, right? Because, Tom, this cover, I'm not sure if it's out this week. I'm not sure if it's out next week, but the comic is out this week, but 5 of the covers that come out are out this week, and potentially this one's out next week. So
it doesn't make sense, mate. It completely threw me and all.
I mean, I don't get it, but it's a fantastic cover. Cami,
it is a cool cover.
Is it? You could say this is a Cami. Oh,
oh, this is a Cami Peach.
Cami. Oh, this is wicked, man. And this is Souza Micah. Like, Andy, I know you're a massive fan of Souza Micah, and this is, I really like her stuff. And not just because there's an absolute peach on the cover, but she's really good.
I'm not entirely sure I'd have known this was Souza Micah unless somebody told me it was Souza Micah, if I'm really honest. The only thing that, guys, see, once I say this, you're not going to be able to unsee it. But just the way that her hair goes through past the legs, it's like just come on, looks a little. Come on. And also, if this isn't out until next week, does that mean that you're cheating, Charlie?
Yes, yes, it does.
Whatever. I'm not going to win anyway, but you could say you done. You done. Yes.
I really like this cover, to be fair. I think it reminds me very much of like the little playing cards you used to be able to get, like the Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter playing cards. Yeah. That's what I like it. I think it's quality. It also reminds me very much of the old school video game covers, like on the actual games themselves. I like what they've done here. I think she's done a great job.
Actually reminds me of what you dressed up as at Thought Bubble last year, Tom.
I actually think this is what you were wearing on the Friday night when I got back.
Oh, maybe.
And funny, we did nickname him Noodles that night.
Vermicelli noodles. Yes. So, yes.
You did show me your cameo. Put that away.
This is my entry, right? So, you done Street Fighter Masters, Cami one, Souza Micah variant cover. That's mine. So, up next, we have Lady Death, Necrotic Genesis, issue number 2 by Richard Ortiz, the naughty variant. This is from Comics, and this is from the one and only Chris Ding Dong Bell.
Wow. That is naughty. Naughty, very naughty.
This reminds me, in all honesty, of Sun Kamanaki's covers. It's very much the same. I've never heard of Richard Ortiz. I've never heard of, and there's only a few publishers out there that kind of do like the naughty variants and stuff like this. But yeah, this is. I have no interest in the story whatsoever. But if that's what Lady Death looks like, she can come and get me right now.
Listen, Lady Death comics are fantastic from back in the day, especially the 90s stuff. That's where all the foil covers you would have got loads of them. Quick question: so it's the naughty variant, but does it actually have the words naughty over her particulars, or is that just there for?
I think that's
YouTube?
just there for the particulars. But I mean, Chris has said it's got it all, by which I mean tits and ass.
Well, okay.
Yes.
But what? But guys, what about the artwork? I mean, this is why we're here to critique.
It's it's fantastic. It is quite good. Like to be honest,
I don't know. I mean, the feet. Those feet are not anatomically correct. That is really odd.
Yeah.
Also, the curve in the back.
Oh,
I'm studying her back and all her curves.
Wait a minute. This is coming from a J. Scott Campbell fan who's criticising the curve in the back.
Whoa. Don't even start me on Jock, man.
So yes, so this is.
Don't come at me, bro.
Chris has just said there's feet. Exactly. Who knows? But yeah, this is a nice cover. This is Lady Death Necrotic Genesis issue number 2, Richard Ortiz naughty variant from Coffin Comics. So that's a nice input from Chris Bell there. Then taking the tone up slightly, we have Deceased War of the Undead Gods issue number 7, the fantastic Ben Oliver variant cover, and this is chosen by the one and only Darren, aka the Poptimist.
Nice.
This cover is absolutely sublime. I love the fact that it's like a movie poster with the quotes. Yeah. And you know what makes this even better is that the Deceased run is fantastic. Like, I love it. It's awesome.
Listen, Ben Oliver, you cannot beat Ben Oliver. Go have a look on Instagram at Ben Oliver's the stuff that he's done. It is sublime. I'd say he's one of the most underrated artists.
Is this a homage cover?
Yeah, it's homage to Purple
Rain.
I thought it was. I can't remember what I thought it was, but it twigged. I just wasn't sure what it's from.
Yeah,
I love the reflection of the bike and the rain.
I think for me, the Harley Quinn's unnecessary. I think it looks like an afterthought.
Yeah,
the rest of the comic looks amazing. The bike looks amazing, like you said, Andy. The reflection looks amazing. I just think Harley Quinn looks like an afterthought.
Yeah, I just think his bike looks really cool. It's like a cross between a motorbike and a BMX, like that back bar.
It looks wicked. So yeah, awesome,
nice.
That's there. That's.
I love the fact that the community's picking and we're showing them as well. Now I think Chris's whole point is just to get the naughtiest erotic book on screen every week. So that's your challenge from now on, Chris.
Yes. But yeah, so that's the 5 covers. We've got Poptimist's input, we've got Chris's, we've got mine, we've got Tom's, and we've got Andy's. So the vote is going live shortly on YouTube, which is the community tab. So place your votes at the end, and then at the end of the show, we will find out who wins. And it could be no one. What a segue. So yes, this week for the Killer Comic Show, week number 11, we are reviewing Images comic. Fantastic read. No one. Now, Andy, Tom, which one of you would like to take us away? We've got 8 covers this week.
Go
Tom,
for it, Andy.
go for it?
No,
Tom. Be my guest, Tom.
Oh, no, mate. No one. No one wants to hear me talk about no one. You go for it, pal.
Okay, so main cover is by Geraldo Borges. Who again has been another fantastic person in socials, been really responsible whenever we'll post these things up. So thank you for that. We have cover B by Goni Montes. We have cover C by Mark Englert, and cover D is the 1 in 10 incentive by Wallen. We've got more. We've got the 1 in 50 incentive. This is the Borges and Costa variant. We've got the Costa Retro variant. This is a BMN exclusive. And we have a Michael Cho foil variant and a second printing cover because this has sold out at distribution level and went straight to second print. So this is an Image comic and it's written by Brian Buccellato, and as I said, Geraldo Borges does the artwork for this. And this all, as far as I understand, this Kyle Higgins is involved in this as well.
He is, mate, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's all part of that. Remind me of that world.
Radiant Black.
Radiant Black, that's the one. Yeah. So it all sort of falls into this now. I only read a couple of issues of that, so I don't know how it fits into that. And luckily enough, as a reader, it doesn't matter because it stands alone as far as I'm concerned. So the premise of this is that it's set basically 10 months prior to the start of this comic. The Richard Roe murders shocked the city of Pittsburgh. In the months since, the killings have sparked a dangerous political movement. There's been lots of copycat killers and mass vigilantes who still determined to hold the powerful accountable. Not a symbol, not a hero. They could be anyone. They are no one. And that's how the premise of it is set up. This is very much felt to me like a kind of a like indie Batman story. It was like very Detective Comics. You know, you had it set in Pittsburgh, which effectively was your Gotham. You had your mass vigilante who was out killing people who had been sort of revealed as in leaks of information. So it was like the hierarchy of the government and things like that. And we have so the covers here, the pages that I've picked here. The first one on the left hand side, I picked this because I thought the color work on this was superb. Whenever you've got like a police scene, I love the way that the reds and the blues go on in each of the panels on this. I thought that was quite stunning. You knew you were in the same setting for each of the panels. Guys, I'm interested to find out what you thought about this from the start off. What did you think of the story and the whole premise of this? It was a long book. It was what, 46 pages long?
Yeah, 46 pages, yeah. I mentioned it ages ago. I think I mentioned it last week or the week before last that from the off, it looked like a Batman comic. And I think the way that it's portrayed, like there's a lot of points in it that you can kind of get. For me, I think her name was her name Julie, the news reporter.
Yeah.
She kind of came across as like a Lois Lane type of figure. Then you've got the protagonist, No One, who kind of like is a Batman superhero. But for me, it's a good comic. It was engaging. I enjoyed it. I kind of wanted to find out what the whole story was behind it. That's interesting to find out about that. It ties into like Radiant Black and stuff because I didn't know that. I literally just picked it up and I read 2 or 3 of them Radiant Blacks and then kind of put it down. So now that you've kind of said that, it's got my thoughts going that I'm going to go back into it and see if there's anything I missed on that to pick up on this. But I went for the middle panel. That for me is very much like a young Batman and Alfred, or even a young Batman and the Jim Gordon. Kind of, it's very much like they're looking at Martha and Thomas Wayne's gravestone, and they're kind of trying to come up with everything like that. But it's got essences of everything. For me, this was kind of like a crossover-esque comic where they was saying it was a superhero comic from certain superheroes, but they weren't really saying that. And the stories more in depth than a Batman story was, for instance. There's a lot more going on. It's a lot more graphic. There's a lot more interesting points to kind of get your teeth into. It's an interesting comic. I'm definitely interested in not finding out how this goes on. I think for a first issue, it could have been a bit stronger. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think the art and the lettering by Otsmane was fantastic.
Yeah, it always is. His lettering art is absolutely superb. I think the bit that kind of let me down, and I sort of went, "All right, okay, it's went a bit left field now."
Mm-hmm.
It's actually when, and I think this was the first time on the page that you picked, Tom, where we actually see who the mass vigilante is, and it almost felt like it suddenly became a superhero story, because for so long it was a little bit like a good, detective story, and it was interesting and intriguing, and then it all of a sudden became this kind of guy with a cape and a mask on that is potentially doing all this, and that lost it a little bit for me. And Tom, just before you jump in, like, I don't know if you guys bothered to have a look at the end of the comic, whatever it had, like the Spotify podcast, so you could actually go. throughout it, they talk about this podcast and the fact that the newsreader is moving away from traditional printed paper to going to like podcasts, and it's almost like this whole book was kind of a like life imitating art sort of thing. Because it was all about leaked information, and obviously we've seen that in the real world, and potentially what can happen as a result of that, and the fact that we're moving away from the printed media into podcasts and stuff. So I really like that you could go and listen to it as well and find out a little bit of the backstory, and they've done that in the form of like Wikipedias and things like that, which I thought was really cool. So yeah, Tom, what did you think?
I think, like you said, the parallel to all like what's going on in the real world with leaked information was really quite clever. And like you said, moving away from print into the digital world with the podcasts and stuff, extremely clever. But going into the comic itself, I thought I didn't really understand what its identity was. I don't think it itself knew what it was supposed to be as a comic. It couldn't make its mind up whether it was a detective comic, whether it was a superhero comic, whether it was a comic about a vigilante rather than an actual hero, whether it's an anti-hero. It just couldn't make its mind up. And I think it really did show, if you haven't read some of the Radiant Black stuff, the first few pages are actually really hard to work out what's going on and who's who. So they don't really explain that you need to have read the other books to understand what's going on. But character development wise, I thought as it went through the book, you did start to get a little bit to grips with what's going on, who's who. So they do, you do get explained to it a little bit later on in the book. I thought it took a long time to get into some action. But at that point, you'd already established the fact that it was probably going to be more of a kind of mystery kind of thriller rather than an action book. And then suddenly this action pops out of nowhere and you're a little bit, oh, that's a bit, like you said, left field. I just felt like it didn't know what it was.
Did you guys find that you had to think about it quite a lot? Like, you had to stop and actually... Yeah,
and one thing that got me really thinking was when no one grabs... the police officer, the way that he holds him is like he knows him, is like, I've got you. Do you know the way that he embraced him is like, I've got you, like he's a family member. So then I was thinking it's 100% it's his son that's gone off the rails. And then obviously what happens at the end of the comic kind of puts a spanner in the works for that. But it's interesting, 100% it's interesting. Like, I'm a massive Batman fan, and Batman, and I've said it time and time again, since the Joker War, the build up to the Joker War was fantastic. After the Joker War, it kind of it arse ended and went fucking tits down. It hasn't picked up that pace. And Chip Zdarsky, I think, is again, he's kind of jumped on trying to create it, but I think DC have told him this is the way Batman's got to be. This is it. Whereas if you look at Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil, it's one of the greatest stories, one of the greatest comics that's ever been done in my eyes. That he's fantastic at that. He's created something. He's created an own world. With Batman, he hasn't been able to do it. With this, where it's Image Comics, hopefully this can kind of become something else, something bigger, something better. But I think it was quite hard with some of the pages. It was very narrative heavy. Some of them were like, oh my God, it's 46 pages. And some of the pages are like, it seemed like a marathon to read. And I was reading it thinking, oh, I'm just trying to flip. I'm just trying to see when the next page is up. When's it up? When's it up? But how it ends was quite good. It kind of ended with no one telling how things are going to pan out and what his whole end game is, which was interesting. But it's an Image comic, and like 9 times out of 10, the Image kind of just end up smashing the ball out of the park with comics like this. So I'm in for the long haul with this.
I think it done enough for me to get me to read issue 2, if only as a result of that last page and what happened to one of the characters. I think for me, for the artwork was fantastic. The writing, just for me, it was just a little bit too much hard work. And I don't know if that was just maybe the frame of mind I was in when I was reading it. And I don't know how I would have reacted to this if we'd have had more than one comic to read. Like back in the day when we were doing like 4 comics and stuff like that. And that's the risk of these sort of page heavy comics. But for me, there's enough there for it to read issue number 2. But it was just a bit hard work. Tom, what did you think?
I agree. I thought it was really hard work. I really did, and I don't think I'll be reading issue 2. I just felt like this was so much crammed into one book. It almost felt like they were just trying so hard to give you all the characters, all the narrative, what's going on, what the past story is, rather than kind of develop that over a period of time. And I would have liked it to be in a detective comic and then turn into a superhero comic, rather than it be let's all ram this all into one shot. The artwork, however, is amazing.
Question for you. Question for you. Would you have read this comic if we weren't doing it for the show?
No.
Yes.
I think I would have done.
Yeah, I definitely would. And also, I think it would have been better if we'd have got those Wikipedia and sort of character descriptions and sort of background at the start of the comic.
Yeah.
So it's almost like go and listen to this. So you listen to it, you find out about the characters, and it's all, you know, an audio for the Wikipedia writing, and then you dive into the story, so you know about the character and you know his background and stuff like that. And I think that would have been a lot better, because once you've read that heavy story and it's taken a lot for you to digest it, the last thing you want to do is go and read the backstory of the character, because I'm definitely not going back to the start to read it again.
No, definitely. But what is this? Is this a 6-part, 8-part, 12-part?
Good question. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's a mini series, so
if it's 12 parts, that's a lot. Like, no, there's no way they can each issue can be 46 pages. Like, because that's huge.
I mean, it could have been that the only reason it was a bumper sort of first issue was because there was Wikipedia pages and the other bits and bobs that were in it.
Yeah,
so I'm just having a look on here, a League of Comic Geeks, just to see if I can find it.
But I mean, it is enjoyable, and the art and the lettering are fantastic. Like, and I'm hoping that we kind of get to learn more about the past of the Richard Rowe. Is it Richard Rowe who's the killer?
Yeah.
Richard Rowe.
Yes.
Hoping we get to learn more
we
about
believe it's Richard Rowe.
Yeah, I think it is interesting, and like I'm looking forward to finding out more about the characters as well, because it ended on a cliffhanger and stuff. So, but I mean, for anyone out there that looking to read it, I would say give it a go, but just be warned that it is quite narrative heavy. But the artwork is fantastic.
The artwork is fine. I'll give it that.
It only has 3 issues up in League of Comic Geeks, but that could mean that it's okay. There's more. So.
I mean, I would give this for the art. I'd give this a 9 out of 10. I think the art is sublime. For the writing, I'm probably going to give it a 6 or a 7, because I think it was quite heavy. I think it could have been done in less pages. I think it could have been like it could have spread out the story. Like, if I'm being honest, I think this issue could have been 2 issues. And I think
potentially,
and I think the lettering is on point. Like, we first heard of Osani in Chicken Devil, which was great, which was awesome. So I think anything with him on and in doing his work, it is going to be good. But obviously,
and it's the same writer, Brian Buccellato, wrote Chicken Devil.
But I think it's a good story. I just think it was pretty narrative heavy, and it could have been spread out over 2 issues. That's my opinion. But overall, I think I'd give this like an 8 out of 10.
I'd be about a 7 for me.
I think I'd probably go lower. Probably go about 5.
Ooh, it's the truth, sir.
Next.
Right, here we go. So we got the Killer Comic Show, Killer Picks, Killer Indie Picks, Killer Pick Your Nose Picks. What have we got for you this week, Andy? Well interested about this because there's so many similarities I want to talk about.
So this is my indie pick for next week. This is due for release the 27th of March. This is from Image Comics once again, and this is the Ambassadors issue number 1, written by Mark Miller, art by Frank Quietly, and the cover price is about $3.99. Synopsis-wise, the most ambitious comic book of all time is finally here. Imagine you could gift superheroes to 6 people. In a world of 8 billion, who do you choose? Join 6 of the greatest artists in the industry for an enormous story about ordinary people from around the world, explaining why it should be them. This first story features the artwork by superstar Frank Quietly. I hope I'm saying that his surname correctly. The synopsis for me two things. The synopsis sounded absolutely superb and really some intriguing, something new that we hadn't seen before. And secondly, the fact that Mark Miller is doing the writing on this, really, this is set up for a TV show. This is Netflix written all over
Everything
it.
he writes now is owned by Netflix, though, isn't it? Everything he
Correct.
writes.
I think it's the first option. I think he's pretty much, there's like I think Miller World is like a side show, as it were, of Netflix. I think this is a huge amount of potential to bring in lots of characters from all around the world. And I'm really intrigued to see who the other 5 artists are that they bring in. So yeah, this is the Ambassadors. What do you guys think of this one?
I love the idea of this. I literally, when you mentioned it, I was like, this looks awesome. And the idea of like only picking 6 people out of the whole globe to have powers, I think that's really cool. It's gonna literally change, I think, the dynamic of the superhero idea, which I love. Which I think Mark Miller is very good at doing. He's kind of changing the perception of comics that we know. It's like taking the familiar and kind of like just twisting it slightly and making it fit in a slightly different box. So I'm interested to see where this goes.
I think it's going to be like for me, Mark Miller, when he wrote King of Spies last year, King of Spies for me was fantastic. Like, and again, that's been snapped up by Netflix, so that's going to be done anytime soon. The Ambassadors, I think this is a winner, 100%. It's they're onto something here. Like the fact 8 billion people and only 6 can have superpowers. There's so much interest in this story. Like, how have these 6 people been chosen? What have they brought to the 8 billion other people that have put them as the elite for the 6 that can be chosen? It's going to be fantastic. Like, who's going to choose them? Do you know what I mean? I'm really looking forward to reading this. It's a nice one for picking this, Andy.
And it looks as if I'm looking at the other covers and stuff like that, because they have all 5 issues up in League of Comic Geeks, and the trade paperback is coming out as well in August. It looks as if it's like a person is chosen from it might be from each continent. Okay. It looks like so yeah, I'm really intrigued. Just something new, something like fresh that we need.
Did you say there's only 5? There's only 5 issues. Like it should have been 6 issues, surely, with like the 6 people that are chosen.
Was it 5 or 6? Let me see. It might have been 6. No, sorry, yeah, 6, because it's.
All right, cool.
No, yeah, 6.
Yeah.
So
do you think each individual issue going to be about each individual character, and then there's going to be something after that where you kind of go into their world?
Well, it might be that each. I was going to say episode. Each issue is about the individual character, but then like volume 2 is like those 6 become a team, and how that dynamic works. If you've got 6 people from different parts of the world, that'd be quite cool.
Or do you think? I mean, this would be quite cool. What if it's one issue story, but each issue is told from that person's point of view?
That'd be sweet. Yeah. And then you've got a different artist who's representing. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Because as we know, like we could sit here and do this show. My point of view of how this show's gone could be different to your 2 point of views. How I would write it down. I mean, that could be quite an interesting way of doing it.
Yeah.
I would love to reach out to Mark and see if we could get him on the show. He's someone who I've always wanted to talk to and stuff like that. And I think if maybe even we set aside some time to review each of the issues of this and see if we can get him on board.
Yeah,
that's your homework. That's your homework, Andy. Reach out to me. Get him on the show.
My fellow Scotsman.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. This is great. Tom. Oh no! Oh, it's me. So basically, right?
Tom.
Right,
no idea. London Comic Mark.
My killer pick. My killer pick is the London Comic Mart, which is happening on April the 2nd, at 11 o'clock until 4 o'clock, and it is basically I am going to be meeting up with Mr. Edvick. Who literally lives about half hour from me. We're going to head over there. I've always wanted to go to this, but because I play football on a Sunday, I've never had the opportunity to do it. And thankfully, I don't have a football match on that Sunday. So me and Ed are going to meet up for a few beers, buy some comics, buy some collectibles, and have a jolly good time. So if there's anyone else in London that wants to meet up with myself and Ed next Sunday, drop us a message on Instagram or drop a message on Killer Comics or whatever.
Tom, did you get your invite, Tom?
Yeah, you did. Don't even try, right?
I don't remember getting an invite for this.
You both fucking did. Right, you're both.
I'm just checking a group chat. It must have been.
This is a different group chat.
You both got an invite. Right, I'm not having that. It's slander.
He's just texted Vic and gone, I'm inviting Tom and Charlie on this chat.
Slander. Slanderous comments.
Slander.
Slander.
But yeah, like this has
Gavna.
been going for like, it's been going for a good few years. And like when you see the videos of it where they post on YouTube over, it's really good. Like it seems really good if you're after there. Like it's quite small. But this is
where's the best place for Charlie to go when he doesn't buy comics anymore? The London Comic Mart.
The London Comic Mart. That's where I'm going. Yes.
Is this just a day?
It's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, who knows? Love comics and collectibles. Wow, power, bish, bash, bosh. Head there at the Royal National Hotel. Yes.
Nice. Are you going to do like an Instagram live?
Do you know what? I actually think I will. Like, I think I'm just going to do it. Like, you know, where they zoom in and say Comic Mart, and then you go and
how do you do it?
And it is sped up. I might have a friend. I might get Ed to hold the camera so he can just follow me around.
So basically, you're going to make Ed your bitch for the day.
Jesus.
No.
That's
Ed.
why we didn't get an invite.
Yes. No, but I'm looking forward to that. So that's my killer pick. Tom, now it's you.
Yes. So I have gone for a video game this week. Last week, if you watched the show, you'll know that I invested in a little thing called a PlayStation 5, and I got myself the Hogwarts Legacy video game, developed by Avalanche Software, published by Warner Brothers Games and Subway World Games.
Didn't you get gifted that PlayStation 5 for hitting your quote for OnlyFans?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what you could do when you're sponsored.
Damn right.
It says cover price being $59.99, but you can actually get it for $39.99 if you go to game and you have a game account. You can use your points to get it for $39.99. And the Hogwarts Legacy game is a 2023 new game for Harry Potter fans, and it's based in the 1800s at Hogwarts, where you enter the Hogwarts as a fifth year. With no magical background other than the fact that you can see ancient magic, and it goes from there, and you kind of interact with the whole world. There's Hogsmeade, there's Quidditch, there's all sorts. I've only just scratched the surface on the game. I've been playing it for 3.5 hours, and I'm still in Hogwarts. Haven't managed to get out of the grounds yet, but it's amazing. Some of the stuff you can do, and you build your character. It's a bit like it's an RPG game.
Okay.
So your character is basic to start with. You don't have any spells. You've just got, I think you just got one, which is Revelio. So you can reveal stuff, and then you can go around collecting gear and stuff. And as you go through the game, you can upgrade your gear, you can upgrade your spells, you can upgrade your character's outfit and look, and you can do like side missions and the main story and stuff. But very, very enjoyable. As a Harry Potter fan, I'm absolutely loving it. So I would recommend it to anyone who likes Harry Potter. You can get it for Xbox 360, not Xbox 360. I don't know what the new
Xbox One.
Xbox One. Yeah, so you can get it for Xbox One.
Yeah.
You can get it for PS5. If you wait until the end of the month, you can get it for PS4 and Xbox 360. So yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Do you get to see Harry in it? Do you get to see like Harry Potter and Ron? You don't? Okay.
No.
Yeah,
so there's homages to them. But this is based before them. So this is based in the 1800s. So you're talking like way back in the day, before even Dumbledore was part of it. But it's really good. It's really, really, really good.
I've heard that it's kind of like the intensity and like the gameplay and everything of this, like people, it's kind of dropped off now. It's kind of like leveled out. There's not that much hype about it.
No. It's kind of dying down a bit now. But I definitely would say if you're interested in Harry Potter, definitely pick this up. It's amazing. Beautiful game.
I'm definitely looking to it. There's been so many hacks done already, hasn't there?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, mate, if you YouTube it, there's somebody playing it on a PC where he's turned your main character into I think it's Homer Simpson. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to using this, and congratulations on the PlayStation 5.
Thank you very much, mate.
Well done. So yeah, so that's good. See, I didn't know whether to put mine in there or put it in the killer toy pick. So just to fill up a slide, I've gone for the killer toy pick. Now,
no, we don't want a black mamba. No one wants a black mamba, mate. This is not the right show.
No. This is the MIYOO Mini Plus, right? So Andy, you know I like my retro gaming and stuff, and I'm kind of in the middle of trying to build my own console and stuff like that.
I knew that as well.
Yeah.
He only talks to Andy.
No, I don't just only talk to Andy. I'm not right.
Andy and Ed Vick are the best, the favourites.
I'm getting on to you, mate, right? So this for me, right? So Tom, you have a Nintendo Switch.
I do.
Right? On the Nintendo Switch, you can pay monthly for the Nintendo online account where you can play your NES, your SNES, your Game Boy Advance, your Mega Drive, and your Super Nintendo and stuff like that. These consoles have been around for ages, right? This is obviously, it looks like a Game Boy and stuff like that, but this is the MIYOO Mini Plus, right? So the MIYOO Mini came out in 2021, and it was kind of a handheld computer, handheld gaming device, retro gaming device that had emulators on it that could play Game Boy Advance, Mega Drive, PlayStation 1, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Mega Drive, everything else. This is the MIYOO Mini, right? So this came out 2 weeks ago, right? This is for $79.99. You get a 32 gig SD card that has 5,000 games already preloaded to it. For $87.99, you get a 64 gig with 6,000 games already preloaded to it. And for $95, you get a 128 gig SD card with 1,100 games already preloaded to it. Now, these games are basically emulators. So you can get these emulators off other sources, but they send you the SD card that's already pre-ordered. You can buy these on Amazon. So it's not like Charlie's Del Boy, where I'm telling you to go out and black market
no
stuff.
Income tax, no VAT, no money back, no guarantee.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why would I pay more money for less games?
I have no idea.
Okay, thanks. Cheers.
What do you mean? No, that's the price. Like,
yeah. So I'm paying $79.99 for 5,000 games. Yeah. And I'm paying $95.99 for 1,100 games. My question was, why would I pay more money?
Missed off a zero there, mate. Sorry, it's 11,000. It's 11.
Oh, Charlie, you don't.
Well, sorry, I must ask one question, right? It's got 5,000 games on it, but how many can you play at once?
Exactly. But I think I've seen these in action, and they are pretty good. Like the graphics on them are great. You can play up to a PlayStation 1. Now you think playing a PlayStation 1 game, the graphics back then were pretty solid. Playing that on a handheld computer is fantastic.
Or you could build it yourself with a Raspberry Pi.
You could build it yourself.
She is my Raspberry Pi.
The emulator in this is based on a Raspberry Pi. I think it's like the Onion AG642. Like
if anyone who's tuning in now who doesn't understand that we're talking about video games, they'll be like, why are they talking about onions and cherry pies?
Welcome to the Killer Comic Show.
In geek culture.
I was well excited about talking about this because I think this is fantastic.
So cool. It's cool.
And I think it's sold out. You can't buy it from MIYOO Mini, but you can buy it from mechdiy.com. You will pay an increased price because the 11,000 games was only going for $79.99 on the official MIYOO Mini website. But because they've sold out, they didn't meet the quota. They made less than they was expecting to make. So then obviously sub-buyer websites are buying it in and getting it as well. But there's various reviews on YouTube, and this looks great. It looks wicked. It really, really is good.
Does look cool. I wonder, can you hook it up to like a TV and stuff like that?
You can't hook it up to a TV. That's the only thing with it. You can't. I mean, it comes with you can say out of the 5,000 games that you've got, there isn't one on there that you don't have. You can kind of take the SD card out. You can kind of plug it into your computer. You can find out the SD. You can download everything else and put it back in. But for me, I've got a PlayStation. I've got a PlayStation Vita that I take away with me. I've got a Nintendo Switch that I take away with me. You can get about 6 hours gaming time out of it, consistent gaming time. And you can see the size of it in the image. You can see the size of how the size of it compared to a hand. It's pretty decent. And the people that give the reviews on YouTube really go in depth with it. And it is great. I mean, because there's this one, there's the MIYOO Mini, there's the Power Kitty as well. There's loads of them out there that do the retro gaming and stuff like that. But for me, this looks great. It really looks good. And for me, where I'm traveling and stuff like that, this would be ideal. because sometimes I want to kind of just play like the old school games instead of like the updated ones on the Switch.
I might build my own and do a tutorial and bring back Perpetual Comics and games
Do
on
it.
YouTube.
You should do.
You should do it,
Probably
mate. Go away and bake that Raspberry Pi.
Like, I mean, I've already got. See, the funny thing is, I've already got a Raspberry Pi, and I've kind of already done that and linked it up to my TV. But I just want more, so I want this.
What do you give the guy that's got everything?
Nothing.
More shit.
You give him the key to get out of this room.
Yeah, exactly. No, if anybody does have a link to go and buy that, like cheaply, then let us know. Slide into our DMs.
But yeah, this was my killer toy pick for anyone that's interested. There we go.
Good pick, Charlie. Good pick.
Thanks. So yeah, the Killer Comic Show sneak. Before we do that, let's head over to YouTube and find out. So in last position is me with absolutely no votes. In third position is Darren with 10%. In second position is Andy with 42%, and Tom is in first position with 48%. So
Nice.
yeah, great.
Well done, Tom.
So yes, next week the Killer Comic Show sneak peek for next week. We was meant to have 3, but there was another comic that I thought might be good to read. So we've got Tom's pick of Dead Romans, which looks absolutely fantastic, 300-esque, which looks blinding. There's Batman One Bad Day, Ra's al Ghul. I kind of just put that on there because the One Bad Days have been fantastic so far.
Yeah, they have been solid, yeah.
And you pick Blue Book 2.
Yeah.
And then I've gone for The Neighbours. And again, I wouldn't have gone for The Neighbours if Andy hadn't picked it.
Yeah, Andy spoke about both Dead Romans and Neighbours last week, and they sounded both amazing, to be fair.
Yeah. So, yeah, there are 4 picks. They will go up on the community tab straight after this show, and then you can kind of place your votes. And then on Monday, Andy, who is the social king, along with Tom does the artwork, Andy does the post. That will go live on Monday, and then we will know what comic we are reviewing or destroying on next week's show. Yeah? Bish bash bosh.
Nice.
And then the Killer Covers scoreboard. So let's end the poll now. And Tom, you ended up winning with 48% of the vote, mate.
Thanks very much, everyone.
4 in front. Andy's in second with 3, and I am towing the line with 1.
Mate, it's like a reverse of last year.
Yeah.
Chris Bell's got 1.
Oh, yeah, Chris Bell's got 1. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm tying with Chris Bell. Great. Nice one. Cheers.
Cheers.
But yes, so that's another show done. And as always, here's the bit of housekeeping where you can follow myself, Andy, and Tom on the links and the content over on Instagram and Twitter. And then you can also follow us over on Instagram and Twitter for the Killer Comic Show and Killer Comic Show on Twitter. Fantastic content, always going up, keeping you in the know about what's coming up on the show and what we've got planned, etc.
Nice.
And that's it. Another show done. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you to everyone that's joined us this evening. It's very kind of you to spend your Thursday evenings with us.
Massively.
It is. Especially with the football on. I think England won tonight. So congratulations.
Yeah, we won 2-1. Harry Kane, Declan Rice, and then Luke Shaw got sent off in the 86th minute. I'm not sure what for, but...
Do you think he's got an Uncle Ben?
Uncle Ben?
I love some soccer ball.
I bet you do. Is that why you went to the dentist?
No. So do you think there's a chance that we'll I've got the dentist again next Thursday, and it's going to be worse than today. So there is a small chance, guys, that I won't be making the show, but I will.
I'm not here next week.
You're okay, Charlie. Surprise!
Well, it's just going to be me and Triple G then, isn't it?
Charlie from Frankfurt.
Triple G don't know that yet, but if these two can't join me, Triple G, get your ass
or anybody else in the chat who wants to come
Anyone
on
else?
And, chat comics.
Connie wants to come on.
If Connie wants to come on, anyone, if anyone's free next Thursday, and my 2 fantastic hosts can't join me, then let us know.
There we go. There's Peter in. Phil, I'm looking at you as well.
There we go.
And
I'm not sure if
anybody
Peter's
else?
saying he's in or he's up to something else and he's in. I'm not sure. Either way,
just give me his room.
He's in somewhere, something.
I'm in.
Someone.
So
Right,
can somebody just end the show quickly?
Anyway,
End the show, please. Come on, hang on.
I'm not putting down the phone. You put down the phone. Thank you to every single one of you that have joined in the chat to take part in the community. If any of you do want to send us over your covers of the week, Connie, you've already said that you had one for this week, so you can send one over for next week. But guys, absolutely love doing this show with both of you. So thank you for making my Thursday night, and thanks to everyone in the chat. Yeah.
What did he say, Tom?
Stay safe. Stay sexy.
See you later. Have a good weekend.
See ya.